Okay, let's start at the beginning. The sun, this is about rebirth, new beginnings. So this feels like a do-over. This feels like something that you thought was completed or something that you began. You have to go back and kind of redo it again. So revisiting, and it doesn't surprise me with what's happening with the planets transiting backwards that it'd be time to do something over. And the sun kind of is like the essence of, or the spark of the new beginnings. You know, the baby is naked here, so you kind of got to get all the way down to the beginning of things so you can rebuild. And this does feel like it's kind of an extension of the rebuilding that you began already a couple of months ago. So it's just a little do-over. So there may be some paperwork you didn't sign, or might be one or two things that you forgot when you thought this was a done deal. So it's a little bit of a do-over, but it won't hold you back too far for too long. The Ace of Cups is here. This crosses you. This is emotions. Aces, you know, this is the hand of God stuff. This is our karma stuff. All aces are like when we're on our path. It can be gifts. Of course, cups are about love. This can be a new love. This can be a birth of a child, a soulmate. You have two love cards in here. So if you are already in a relationship, it's just deepening the current relationship. Or if you haven't been in a relationship for a while, Gemini, it feels like your heart is opening up. It's finally opening up, and you're ready to give and receive love in a little different way than you've done in the past. So these are very powerful and very good cards. So it does feel like, Gemini, things are looking up in the love department. And if you're not currently out there looking for someone, it can just mean opening your heart and loving yourself unconditionally. We don't do that enough, basically. So moving on, this is the Six. This is the Six of Cups. Cups, again, are emotions, can be love. For the most part, Six of Cups are messages from the past, messages of love from the past. So this might have been like your old high school sweetheart sent you an email, or you reconnected with, cousins in your past that you haven't seen in a long time. Something like that. These are people who live in your heart. It doesn't necessarily mean it's an intimate or sexual relationship, but it can be, what I like to call it, is the ghosts of boyfriend and girlfriend's past. So it may mean somebody's just thinking about you in a fond way, but for the most part, it does feel like someone from your past will be communicating and reconnecting with you on that level. And I'm also feeling like you're redoing things in your house as well, that you're redoing things, that you're releasing things from the past, making room for the new as well. And that could be, cleaning out the garage, or just getting rid of your, college books or whatever isn't working for you anymore and just taking up space. For the most part, this feels like love communications from people from the past. In the past position, this is the Seven. This is the Seven of Wands, and it does feel like you might have been cornered in a position, or that you've been fighting the good battle. This does feel like it may be work-related, not interpersonal related, but it does feel like you might have had a difference of opinion with someone, or a political situation that feels like you're cornered, but it does feel like there's a bit of manipulation to it. And some frustration. Doesn't look like you're going to change your mind, so it does feel like you may have to take your leave from this static a little bit, but it does look like someone tried to manipulate you and kind of stick you in a corner a little bit, and that did not work. The Magician is here. This is kind of an extension of last month's reading. You are much more in tune with your own rhythm, your own destiny, shall we say, the infinity sign. So it does look like you've gotten some clarity on your next step and how to proceed. It does feel like this cup on the table is lighting up for me. All these cups are here. So that just tells me that you're open and you're ready to receive and to give love, no matter what that looks like, whether it's within a sexual relationship or just being open to the love of your family that you have not gotten along with for a while. while. But the Magician is here to remind you of how magic you are and to remind you of your gifts that is needed out in the world. So don't be afraid to, find that meditation space and to, open that self-help book or learn to meditate, wander back to church. The Magician can mean all sorts of things for all of us or for each of us individually. It doesn't necessarily mean religion. It's just believing in yourself and your magic. So don't be afraid to share that out in the world, Gemini. And what is in the future position? This can be the inheritance card. This can be a child being born. This is abundance in general. So it does look like you have been able to rectify some things that were out of balance financially. Things are coming into a little bit more focus for you. This may be redoing your 401k. This may be saving for a trip or something, but it does feel like you have a little bit stronger handle on your finances and on your abundance. You've kind of opened your heart up a little bit to give and receive, basically. But it does feel like you have upped your havingness, that you're not on the bottom tier of all your decisions anymore, Gemini. You're kind of floating to the top. You're making yourself, your comfort, and your life a priority now. Instead of putting others in front of your happiness, you can incorporate your happiness with others as well. So it does look like your abundance levels have opened up. So you may have finished a college loan, paying off tuition, paying off bills or medical things. So something has come to an end where your abundance has raised up a bit. The foundation of all this is the Lovers. And the Lovers, this can be the soulmate card. Have you met someone new, sweet Gemini? Have you recommitted to your current partner? Or are you just open and available now to find love when you weren't before? So it does look like some of the crushing things from the past around your heart have been healed. This purple energy is lighting up for me. So you may have met somebody that you weren't prepared to, weren't aware of. And it does feel like that you are connecting on a much deeper level through your love connections. You're not as guarded anymore, and your trust in yourself and your decisions is much, much more in line with where you need to be. So pay attention. The Lovers usually indicate some deep love. Either it's coming to you, you have refreshed the old love, or you're open to receiving the soulmate love. Knight of Pentacles is here. Pentacles usually stand for material things, earthly things. That can be money. The Knight, he's about action. And the Knight of Pentacles can usually mean news of money. This is usually positive news of money. It can be material goods. So you may be getting some, you may want a house or something, and you're getting news that you got the loan. But it can be as simple as that, or just a message that your finances are getting better. But it does look like you have focused on making your finances better and kind of letting go of the superfluous fees of things that you really don't need, and you've kind of reorganized your finances, and it does feel like it's starting to pay off a little bit more and more. And also, Gemini can mean a raise or an honoring of your hard work, but it's usually a financial gain of some kind. The Eight of Wands is here. This is one of my favorite cards. This is all those great ideas flying down from the heavens, but of course it's wands, so you need a little motion behind those great ideas, Gemini. So pick one. It does feel like you get a little overloaded when there's too much to do and you try to juggle all of them. This can be work, this can be personal life, this can be family life, but it does feel like pick one and finish it to completion before you start the next. But it does feel you're a little overwhelmed. This can also be demands at work, things coming down, projects coming down that really demand your time. Just prioritize and pick one at a time till you complete it, and it won't overwhelm you. But it does feel like you're getting a little overwhelmed with the have-tos. So just pick one thing, Gemini, till you finish it. I know you guys can multitask. You guys can do everything all at the same time. My ex-husband is Gemini, and he could cook for the kids, have a baby on his hip, and, solving the world's problems on the phone. So you guys are amazing, amazing multitaskers. But for this situation, to really not miss little details, pick one thing at a time. I know it's not in your nature, but give it a try. All right. Then we have the Seven of Cups. Cups usually are about feelings, emotions, can be around love, but it does feel like it's time to upgrade your highest creative essence, what you want to do in life, bucket list times. It does feel like you have met and mastered some things already, and some other things that you've maybe chosen when you were a child are no longer in line with your positive growth and your spiritual awareness. So now it's time to fill these cups with new dreams, ideals, and bucket list items. This also can stand for kind of looking at life through rose-colored glasses, not looking at things as they truly are. Then we kind of get hit upside the head with reality because we thought it was one way when it really was another. This kind of dictates that as well. Pull that blindfold off. But it does feel like you need to have some pretty important communication. This does feel work-related. It can be interpersonal, but it really does feel like it's work-related, that you need to really give your 2 cents, your honest opinion about something. Do not placate your words. You can temper them, but don't placate somebody by saying something that it really isn't in your heart. So it's time to have some tough communication. The swords can be the thinking process or communication, but it does look like it's something you've been putting off for a while. It's time to just grab the bull by the horns and have that chat. Pull off the blindfolds and take a look at what the situation really is and how it is either depleting your energy or benefiting from you, and to kind of look at resolution from that space, Gemini. The next card is the 3. This is the get out there in the world and party. This can be some activities, events that are coming up. So it does look like it's time to get out of your head a bit, Gemini. Get out in the world. Go have dinner with your buds. Go to those parties. Accept those invitations, the barbecues, the time at the lake. It looks like you have put a lot of hard work into the things that you are supposed to do, all of your responsibilities. So now it's time to get out there and play a little bit. Get a little wind in your hair and a little sunshine on your face. So start accepting those invitations when they come. And it does feel like a joyous celebration is coming. So this could be a wedding. This could be a baby shower, a graduation party, but it does feel like some partying is in order here. So that is your general reading, Gemini, for the month of May. Okay, food and hunger is what popped out. So it does feel like you have this kind of, and Greco-Roman. So get back to the basics is what I'm feeling. Get back to the basics. Start thinking of releasing some history that no longer works. The food and the hunger feels like it's a falsehood in your space, that you may be really looking at survival more than you need to. That is not your case. It does feel like, you might save so much and not enjoy life. So now it's time to, throw caution to the wind a little bit and start enjoying life and giving to yourself. Doesn't necessarily mean monetarily. It could be my food. If you want to have that pizza, have that pizza. Quit putting yourself up on that cross of kind of denying yourself the pleasures in life, because you work really hard for what you have, Gemini. So honor yourself and gift yourself all those little things that you don't allow yourself to have.